LinkedIn is the best platform to grow your B2B business. I've generated millions in B2B sales using LinkedIn. I've been a LinkedIn top sales voice 4 times and been creating on the platform for 8 years. Yes, I'm as ancient as LeBron. So today I am going to walk you through 5 reasons why it beats other platforms when it comes to B2B growth. Now, number 1 is LinkedIn's B2B focused user base. So as of right now, as I'm making this video, LinkedIn has 1 billion users. And the reason I always say that in my videos is because most people think that there's only like 200,000 people on the platform and that's just crusty resumes and there's just cover letters and you're like, what's going on? No, there are legit people on the platform. And the thing is that this is consistently growing. And the cool thing is that there are also decision makers on this platform. With over 90% of the Fortune 500 companies are leveraging LinkedIn, and a lot of your decision makers, the VP, the executive, the C-suite are all on the platform and they're consuming content. Now, here is the interesting part about this. If you're a content creator watching this, and maybe you're not a seller or whatever that may be, there's only 2 to 3% of people consistently creating content on LinkedIn, and that only means like they post once a month. So there's a huge opportunity to create and get in front of these executives, but I'm just telling you why you should even be paying attention, because there are people on there and they're consuming content and they're observant. You all probably know this. There are people on the platform that I've interacted with that are executives, VCs, etc. And they've seen my content even though they've never liked or commented on anything. And I found that to be very interesting. And I was like, like, why are they seeing my stuff and they never engage? Like, that's not as helpful, but it is interesting, right? Because that at least means that I have awareness in the market. So if I ever talk to someone about something, then I can obviously have the conversation from there. So I think that's actually pretty cool in the way to engage. So again, that's a piece there. Comparison to all the other platforms, right? So if you got Facebook, Twitter, I guess it's called X now, whatever, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever you're on nowadays. The thing that I really like about LinkedIn, and the reason why I started so early creating content in 2016, is that there are 3 things here that you don't get on any other platform. Are you ready? So number 1 is you don't know the salary of the people on the other platforms. I don't know what Billy Bob 22 makes. I don't know if Loudmouth Sally makes, right, as well. So I have no idea, right? I just see a username, it's a person, whatever. On LinkedIn, I can actually look at all my followers and I can do a back-end data cleanse and then look at the analysis of, oh, well, that person is in this role, so that means that they make X amount of money, which means that I have an audience of people that make over $100,000, right? And I have mostly sellers, so like that is actually an accurate statement. So I know that the value of my audience, even though I have 150,000 followers, which is obviously completely different in comparison to 2 million followers, my 150,000 followers in sales all have money to spend on certain things. So now I have that engaged audience, which again, is very, very interesting. So the other thing is I actually know the people. I can actually look at their profiles. I can see where they work. I can see where they live. I don't know where these other people live on these other platforms. It's like, well, we don't know, right? So that's just an interesting point that you want to be able to see there, right? And that's been a really key point in what I've been able to analyze. And the other thing about LinkedIn that I really like is that you can see who views your profile. Now, on other platforms, that would be very creepy. Like a lot of people would be in trouble. But the good thing is that you can see who views your profile. So now I can see who to engage with and who to talk to and those things across the board. So that's like my first point is why this B2B focused user base is so strong. And that if you're not creating on LinkedIn right now, you need to absolutely start doing it, or to the minimum, start at least commenting and engaging with people to see exactly what's going on. So that is point number 1, is that there is a massive user base. There are a lot of decision makers, and that you can get in front of them today if you take the time to actually get in front of them, and you can see who these people are and how much money they make, right? Because I think at the end of the day, that's what you're looking for. All right, so that's number 1. Number 2 is the content engagement is definitely there across other platforms. Now, obviously, TikTok's engagement rates are crazy once you start creating content. But if you are a B2B business and you're selling to B2B buyers, this is a good place to be, because it's going to favor business content. And it typically favors creators that are starting off new. I've been around the platform for a while, so I'm just speaking to what I see. People that start creating content and are consistent, they catch a wind, and then they just start getting more and more momentum, and LinkedIn continuously feeds you, right? And then now you have wins in your sales and you move forward. This is what I saw from 2016 to especially 2019. Obviously, COVID year 2020 changed things a little bit. But for those 3 years, I saw huge momentum as I started being more consistent. And it got me in front of VCs, founders, executives that I never would have got in front of if I didn't start creating the content. So that's just another thing, is that it's going to favor that content. Also, the engagement on the platform. If you feed LinkedIn, it'll feed you. So if you're commenting, engaging, DMing people, that's going to continuously build up over time, and that's going to make you more successful in what you're doing. And so right now, one of the biggest things that you want to do in terms of types of content that you want to create, without being like, where do I start? Vertical videos is fantastic right now. LinkedIn's rolled out a video feed. My hope is that they continuously optimize it and they don't take it away like they did stories. But vertical videos right now, great. They're fantastic. Also, photos. Photos of, now don't take like a photo of like you in the dark. That's what I'm saying. Like photos that actually correlate to the text that you have. This is actually really important, because some people make videos and it has nothing to, a photo, and it has nothing to do with what the text is. So make sure that the photo is in correlation with what the text is, all right? Some people mess that up. And then regular text posts. If you're a writer or you've been on X or Twitter already, start putting out your long form text posts on there so people can start engaging and seeing what you're about. Number 3 is the lead generation on there is great. And the direct messaging, once you've connected with someone on a first degree message, is awesome. You can do videos, you can do voice notes. It's a great way to stand out. Also, your success rates on LinkedIn are higher because you can only have 30,000 connections on first degree connections on LinkedIn. I know I can't tell you why this rule exists. I'm even just like, I have no idea why. But they only have 30,000 connections, which means that even though they're getting a lot of in-mails, not a lot of people can send a video or a voice note. So just something to keep in mind. So your success rates of LinkedIn outreach compared to all the other stuff is just going to be way higher at the end of the day. So it's just something to keep in mind, and that's why I really like it. Also as well, my personal response rate is 40% on LinkedIn, and that's what I've seen, and other clients have seen the same. Number 4 is thought leadership. So there's a lot of opportunities when it comes to thought leadership. And I mentioned a couple things that you can get involved with. So number 1 is the LinkedIn newsletter. Now, when it comes to the LinkedIn newsletter, I know at the end of the day, like, you want to obviously own your own audience and you don't want to build on LinkedIn. I 100% understand that. But what I have found from the thought leadership opportunities from LinkedIn on the newsletter that I've been investigating and helping some other people with have been great. Now, I personally have not started my own yet due to some other projects we're working on. But my goal is, as this video comes out, is to start the newsletter and get that rolling, because the good thing is when you launch your newsletter, it alerts all your connections and followers. And so every single person will now know that you have a newsletter. Plus, every single person that sends you a connection request will also now be asked to join or subscribe to the newsletter. So if you are a creator, if you're an executive and you're getting all these connection requests, you're not probably going to follow up with them, and you're not going to connect with everyone. And also, we have a 30,000 connection limit. So what I found to be best is actually take that attention that you're getting and convert that into a newsletter. And again, this is something we have not done yet. So I'm not like, I'm calling out my own self out on this one. Now, I need to go out and do that myself, so then I can obviously at the end of the day convert this attention I'm getting for connection requests. But a LinkedIn newsletter is great, because now you can take that newsletter and then you can push people to your newsletter and own that audience. So that's something you absolutely want to do. And you can also just have the same content that you put on your normal newsletter and just put it on your LinkedIn newsletter, shorten the content, and optimize for that. So that's a way that you can start tapping into other platforms and places as well, which I really like. Another thing about this is LinkedIn Live and audio events. So I don't know if y'all are LinkedIn Live people or you like going on live. I know everyone's kind of different on this one, but I'll tell you, LinkedIn Live is one of my favorite things to do. Y'all are going to laugh. And if you guys should go on the YouTube channel here, you actually can see some of the old lives that I've done. But I did something called Muffins with Morgan. So what did I do? I ate muffins while I answered sales questions. And I'm smiling because it was one of the most fun things that I did. I did it for about a year and a half, and then I stopped. I did it every single Saturday, and I just needed to take a step back and take a break. But my goal is actually to bring it back for season 2 and do that, because the cool thing is that the community and the people get to truly connect with you. and they really get to see who you are, and they really get to be like, wow, this person knows what they're talking about, and they're able really to get the most out of it. So for me, I have found that to be so much fun and a lot of awesome times that come with that. And it's been just like really cool to do that in the past. And that led into actually pipeline into closed deals. But again, everyone was talking about, oh, Muffins Morgan, you went live. So I'm going to bring that back here soon. But I'm mentioning that because you also can do that as well. It's a great way to connect with the community if you have the time. 30 minutes to an hour, right? Just answering questions and going back and forth with people. Yeah, that's a great way of doing it. And then you have audio events, where basically the same as live is video, audio is just audio. So if y'all remember Clubhouse when they had their run, it's the same thing. Same framework, format as Clubhouse, and now you can have people come up, ask you questions, interact with them. I think going into 2025, this will be something that I think will have an uptick moving forward, because I feel like people don't have the sense of community like they did maybe before COVID. COVID really messed us up, obviously, for a lot of reasons. And I think now people are like, I want to really connect with people in a way that maybe they haven't before. So I believe that the LinkedIn Lives, the audio events, that will start to bring and foster community, and that's something you can do on LinkedIn as well. That is unique, because you can do that with executives and other buyers, which you can't really do on other platforms, which I really like. And then ultimately the last part, which is the purpose of LinkedIn, which is networking and relationship building. So not in like a flimsy way, like, hey, we have synergies, let's connect. Like, that's not what I'm saying. Like, the good thing is that you can do these LinkedIn Live and audio events I just mentioned, and you can build true relationships off that. I have so many friends that I've made from LinkedIn that today I consider close friends, right? And that I've done business with. So that's the reason I like LinkedIn, is that there's some very good and genuine people out there that you can connect with and have some really good conversations with, which I really like. I've also met, again, like I said, a lot of people in person. I've done a lot of content collabs in person, so that's a really cool thing. You meet people at events and you really get to understand them as people. And also as well, there's just so many different ways that you can collab beyond just the platform. Like, I've done some in-person content with people, like shows. I've done collaborations where we've done webinars together. So these are things that you can do immediately on LinkedIn. And again, in other places, yeah, you can do them, but the business relationships there are strong too, because you can get referrals and people are genuinely willing to help. And I've really created some just strong partnerships through the platform and across the board. And so my whole thing here, y'all, is I broke down these 5 things. While other platforms have their place, obviously YouTube being one of them, LinkedIn is unmatched when it comes to B2B growth for your business. So start focusing your efforts here and watch your business relationships and revenue grow over time and soar. So if you found this valuable, hit the like and subscribe button for more B2B marketing and sales tips. If you have any questions, hit me up on LinkedIn, and I'll see you on the next video.